Howdy there, folks. How are y'all doing? My name is Reese, and I don't know what that little squeal was at the beginning. Don't ask too many questions today, alright? I'm in a giddy mood. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day for a neighbor, and I hope that you will be mine. Please, won't you be my neighbor? It'll be fantastic. It's raining, it's drizzly, it's miserable, and I was wrong. We're not finishing this by episode 55. I thought last episode was episode 54, and I am a fool. We're now on episode 56. This is like that episode of I Love Lucy, where she mistakenly sets the clocks back instead of forward, and her whole big scheme is like, oh, well, if I set them back an hour... No, she sets them... Does she set them forward? No, back an hour. When it says 5, it won't really be 5. But then Ricky's like, it's now 7 o'clock! And they're late for dinner with his boss, and she should have set the clocks forward, so when it said it was 7, it would only really be 6. Oh, man, the madness. Haven't seen that episode in 10 years. I probably have the details wrong. What matters today, though, is I'm waiting on the sun to set. I don't know if you can tell. I'm killing time for that sun to disappear over the horizon so we can take a nap and hopefully sleep the day away. That's sort of like the idea. Or should we just work through the night? Should we just power through? I have no idea. I feel like that would sort of be potentially a negative. What the heck was that? Did y'all see that? Oh my gosh, a villager came back! He's real! Dave Davidson, the mayor. Oh my gosh, this is... And he's got... Oh. His house is all swanky now. Do you think he's got anything going on upstairs? Barrels. Lots of barrels. Okay, I guess that's the popular thing. Hello, Dave Davidson. Oh, you must be Reese Crafts. I see my reputation precedes me. Of course you know who I am. Yeah, you killed everyone who used to live here. Oh. Okay. Yeah, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. I did do that. Are there any other villagers? Oh, do you think there's kids in the back spying on him? Do you think little Timmy... Oh, well, little Timmy's dead, isn't he? Is that the... Okay, there's no one else. I'm still all by myself. Oh, it's dark in there, isn't it? It's not supposed to be. Isn't it supposed to be lit up? Let's do an F7. Oh, it's fine. Okay. I was going to say, I wanted to make sure things aren't spawning in here. We did put in lighted floors. Oh, you know what it must be is this tinted glass makes it look a lot darker inside than it really is. Oh, dear, there's a creeper. We've got to figure out what we're going to do today, and I figured, you know, once the rain clears up, what we could do is we could start work on the power plant, so... Why am I not flying? What the heck? Come on, do the fly. Do the thing, Julie. Been watching some Korra recently. I'll tell you what, Korra, it swings and roundabouts. You know what I mean? It's ups and downs. It's positives and negatives. I remember last time I watched it, I was very... Like, the first time I watched it, I was kind of into it. And then when I went back to it, I was like, this actually sucks. And then now that I'm watching through it a third time, I'm like, it's okay. You know, I'm on Season 2. I think Season 2 is the weakest. Jenna, we're going to be watching soon the flashbacks to Avatar Juan, who is, of course, the first one. He's Avatar number 1, and his name is Juan. I think it's supposed to be clever. I don't know. It's not as bad. It's not as bad as all that. Should we go take a nap? I don't really want... I mean, there's a spider jockey. You don't see those pretty often, but also it's not even really a threat for us. We're pretty much invincible, and I can kill everything with a single hit. Let's go take a nap. Let's sleep the night away. Alright, now I feel more rested and better prepared to take on the beasts. Here's the situation, right? We're going to need a place to sleep if we're going to be bulldozing over our house, which we're going to be doing today, because it's in the way of where the power plant's going to go. I'm sorry if this place has any sort of sentimental meaning or value to you, because we have been living here for a while now, and I can't imagine for a lot of people this is sort of like what do they think of when they think of the series. Maybe we shouldn't break it down. Maybe we can leave the house intact. Maybe we can turn this into one of the businesses. You know, we've talked about having a business. Maybe that's what we'll do. I mean, it'll need to be remodeled a bit because cobblestone is hideous and disgusting and no one should ever build out of it. But I reckon I'll see what we can do. Should we build it with the dark oak? Or you know what we could probably do is just grab some brick. Let's just grab some nice brick here. And we'll just replace the cobblestone with that. I don't know if there's maybe a tool to help make that, you know, a faster process. I don't think that there is. Yeah, this kind of looks awful, now that I'm looking at it. We need to make it look more like the other buildings in town. That's what Pete Peterson, what's his name? Dave Davidson, that's what he would want. So I guess we got to start with the oak wood. I guess we're doing a remodel today. Dark oak wood. We'll use those as like pillars on the corners because that's sort of the theme of... you know what? I know that it sort of seems like a good idea to hold on to the house for sentimental sake, because this is where we started. But if we're going to have to, like, fundamentally, drastically redesign it, is it really worth the effort? I'll tell you what, let's go with plan A. Let's replace all of the cobblestone with just regular stone bricks, and we'll see how we feel after that. You know? Once we look at it with fresh eyes, it might take on a whole new meaning to us. I mean, I don't know what that means. Once we look at it with fresh eyes, maybe it won't look so awful. I don't know, these standard Minecraft houses are pretty terrible, aren't they? I've never been a fan of them. Remember when villages were first introduced and they were really interesting because they, you know, you'd never seen them before? But then it turns out it wasn't like, what was that old mod that you used to get? Remember it was in like the Yogbox, and I think it was in WoW Millionaire or something like that, where you had these villages that would spawn, and I'm not talking about the newer one, because there's a newer one now where you can marry the villagers and have babies and put them inside of furnaces, and they turn into tombstones. Now, not that one. Not that one. I'm talking about, it was old school Minecraft mod, and they had villagers, and they had their own like currency, and you could interact with them and trade with them, and oh dear sweet goodness gracious me. Okay, we're gonna do just, if it has an EMC value, we're gonna get rid of it. Oh no, what have I done? I've made a big oof. I've made the biggest of oofs. I forgot that chest was full of things that couldn't be EMC'd. We're gonna have to move all of this someplace else. What do you reckon we ought to do? Just stick a chest out here somewhere? In the ground? Where are we supposed to put our stuff? Like my personal private possessions? Now that we're doing this whole town remodel thing. I guess I'm essentially running myself out of town, and I've got nowhere to store my own objects. Let's do this. Let's put down a chest, and then we're going to grab a hopper, and then we're going to grab a... what are they called? I mean, we should be able to type in chest. There it is, Ender chest. And then this is the part I always forget about. Do we get dye, or do we get colored wool? Let's get red, all right? So we'll get some rose red. And I think all we gotta do is put this thing down and then click the rose red in like the middle. Boom. That one is now, it's a different chest. It's a different sort of thing. So we can break that. And we can throw that up here. And then we need to get ourselves an ender pouch. And I don't know how to dye the ender pouch, but it's probably similar. We just get some like rose red, and then, I don't know, possibly do this with it. Uses. It doesn't show uses for some reason. Uses with rose red? No. Do you think it has to be... Maybe we have to get bone meal. Hold on a second. I've got idea number 2 coming in hot and fast. If we get bone meal and we get 2 of those, and then we sort of line it up like the bone meal and the rose red, and then we add the backpack. Oh, come on. Now, how do you do this? How are you supposed to... Oh, wait a minute. Do you think we just right-click it on here? Shift right-click it? That's how you do it. A shift right-click. Okay. Now we can put things in the chest, and it'll automatically be hopped down into here. Cool. We don't want to put literally any of these items in there, though, because they have an EMC value. So what we want to do is we want to put things that don't have an EMC value, like all of our marble, blocks of concrete, all of our glass, our flax seeds, and now I can very easily go clean up that room in there that's got all this sort of non-EMCable stuff in it. Although that's going to drain real slowly with that hopper there, so that's going to be a hassle. My whole plan here was to save time, and now that I see how slowly that's draining, I don't know if we're actually going to achieve that. I think the fastest way to save time would have been to not accidentally break that chest in the middle of the room, spewing out all of this nonsense. I think that was probably our biggest mistake. Achievement get no longer useless? What did I pick up to get that? I have no clue. Oh, dadgummit. This is not going to help us. Oh, wait a minute. Where are those, Is it over there? What happened to that pipe with all of those... Oh, hold on. It's probably on the floor right here. We're just going to have to very slowly cycle through until we find it. Because we've got wooden transport pipes, right? We can get those. Now we just need a whole bunch of Arctic pulsers. And then we can speed up how fastly things are extracted. Is this a necessity? This is sort of like an over-the-top build that we're going to be using literally once. Do I see it on the ground yet? I don't even see them down here. Would it be quicker to possibly get, like, a chest? An alchemical chest, even. Or... No, that's not going to work. I don't know. I'm at such a loss. I don't know what to do. There we go. Just shifting everything in there. Just all of it. Just getting it all off the floor. There we go. I'm sorry, everyone. I know that this has got to be unbearable to watch. Trust me, it's unbearable for me to make it, too. I had completely different plans for today. No, gosh, we've lost something now. I'm going to find it, don't worry. I'm not crazy, right? Y'all saw something fall down here, too? Ooh. Ooh. Oh, now this is terrifying. This is truly terrifying. I saw something green, though. Did y'all see that? Like a green... Maybe that was my imagination, but from up here... I thought for sure I saw... Well, I thought it was emerald, which is pretty rare. Oh, see? That's what I'm looking at. Shale gas? What? What even is that? How does that work? It's part of Engineer's Toolbox. I don't seem to be able to harvest it. Is it like an actual gas in the air? Okay, let's get out of here. This place is creepy. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe nothing fell down here. It certainly looked like something had fallen down here. I don't know what to do with the gas. I didn't get into Engineer's Toolbox that much, even though that's one of my more popular original episodes in the original series. I didn't engage with that. If you'd like to see that, let me know. Maybe we'll do Tekkit Texan V3, and it can be all about me trying to research shale gas. Shale? Is that where the company Shell gets its name from? Probably. Also, I found the basic gates with Arctic pulsars. So for those of you who are freaking out that I couldn't find them earlier, guess what? I've done it. Now we're going to get our wooden transport pipe. And we're going to plop that down. Shrek me, that's the wrong kind. Kinesis pipe. I don't need your snarky comments. I noticed. It's weird that that's not... I mean, does this one even start with... what? I guess this is alphabetically correct. Wooden K comes before wooden T. So I can't really be mad at anyone but myself. And then we're going to need to get a wrench. This is what we're accomplishing this episode. I hope this is what you folks have been waiting for all weekend. You know, we didn't do any episodes over the weekend. Here we are, bright and early Monday, and I guess depending on where you're living in the world. And dadgummit, we're getting something done. So energy pulse. Energy pulse. This should extract things a lot faster. Inventory, items in inventory. Do an energy pulse. Is there like nothing up here? Is it going through? Is it working? Energy pulse. Alright, so that should start filling up pretty quick. That should start extracting pretty quick. And now, instead of manually standing around and emptying this thing, I've got a better idea. I'm going to get another chest. And we're getting rid of this. Oh, can I not? Because I changed the color. Wait, hold on. I can fix that. I can reset it to default. If we run over here and we find one of these bad boys and we shift-click it. Reset it to default, and then we'll get some rose red. That's redstone. Redstone might work, I don't know. But we're gonna come back down here with this chest. And we're gonna plop it down right here. Okay. We're gonna synchronize it perfectly. And then we're going to get another wooden transport pipe. And we're gonna use our remaining Arctic pulsars to drain this chest. So items in inventory, energy pulse. Nice. Items in inventory, energy pulse. Cool. So that's going to begin the process of emptying this out now. Anything that has an EMC value, though, should not be inside of here because I can condense that. And that makes a lot more sense. So alloy furnace, for example. We're going to run out of room in that other chest out there. That's sort of what I'm concerned about right now. I don't want that to happen because it'll start spewing random items out on the ground. But do we need more than 2 of these? We'll throw on a 3rd one. I'm not going to dig up the floor just to put on a 4th one, even though that does technically mean that this one is now moving more slowly than this one out here, meaning that this will always be sort of in a state of vacuum. That's okay. That doesn't hurt anything. So all of these items have an EMC value. We'll get rid of them. We've got one more of these basic gates. We'll throw in here. We need all of these building materials, so we'll take those out. We'll take the iron scaffolding, and now we'll leave that in here. That needs to come out. I figure if the chest was perfectly filled with to begin, you know, if the one inside was perfectly filled, then this one should now become perfectly filled. Should we reconfigure it, though, to say that if there's space in this inventory, it'll pulse? Inventory full, space in inventory. But is that... which chest does it pull that from? Is it space in here or space in here? I don't know. I guess we're going to find out right now, because I'm going to set them all to say space and inventory pulse. And we're going to see if it stops when it gets full. Yeah. Seems unlikely. I don't have high hopes for this. We're going to walk away and... you know what? We can help clean things up here. We can combine these rubber boots. So instead of 2 spaces, they only take up 1. And then also, they're basically broken anyway, so we can just go throw them into oblivion. Let's give them to the horse... Why are there 3 horses? Oh! Mine and Jenna's horse had a baby! And you folks didn't tell her about it on Discord. I'm so proud of y'all. I'm so proud of y'all. Thank you for not telling Jenna that I am breeding our horses together. She might not be okay with it. Wait, was it not wheat that we use? Oh, it was apples, wasn't it? That kind of makes more sense, because they're horses. Horses historically love apples. Probably golden apples, too, wasn't it? I think it was, if I remember right. There you go. You and you make another baby. And then we can breed their baby together. Their babies together. Oh, this is great. This is brilliant. This is beautiful. How are you doing? It's been a few episodes. We're basically in creative mode at this point, aren't we? It's great. Oh, I don't have a bed anymore. I can get a new one, and I can go set it up in somebody's house, and I guess that's where I'm going to live from now on. It's just one of these randos' house. Right here, probably. I'm sure they won't mind. I mean, no one lives here yet, so what's the big deal, right? Get out of here, why don't you? Shoo! Shoo, all of you! I'm tired of this constant barrage of monsters. We need to get that fence finished. I don't even know why I'm bothering with the remodel before we've got the town properly secured. We need to finish that, though, this episode. We've got several minutes left, so we can make it happen. Maybe we can split this business into a sort of business house hybrid, you know, like some places have, where, yeah, the business is up front, but then if you go around back, it's just their house, and that's where they live. And their kids are there just kind of looking at you awkwardly, like, who are you? Are you one of us? Like, oh dear. And then, you know, they start chanting, one of us, and the next thing you know, you're stripped naked, covered in honey, tied to a chair, being forced to play Mario Tennis on the Wii. So it's a weird time, isn't it? It's a weird time we live in. But hey, you know what? These things happen, and I've been told that I'm not supposed to judge people no matter how wacky their lives are. So I'm not going to. You shouldn't either. You shouldn't judge them for the way that they behave. Stop that. I've never understood that don't judge. Like, what do you... Well, okay. Clearly I've offended a creeper. No, look, you can have an opinion on anything about anything, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's like we've tried to punish people for being opinionated. No. There's nothing wrong with you having an opinion. I think what we should be teaching people is that other people's opinions don't really have any influence on their life, except the influence they allow you, or you allow them, right? Like, that's the way the world I was raised in. The 90s was a cruel place, okay? A lot of people don't remember this. But we weren't taught that people have to be nice to you. Otherwise, they'll get fired from their job or whatever ridiculous thing may happen to them. No, in the 90s, sticks and stones could break your bones, but words literally could not hurt you. And that remains true to this day, but for some reason we've decided that words are literally the most heinous thing. Like, you can walk up and beat me in the face, just beat me to a pulp, but don't you dare say mean words at me, or that's it. We're going to have you fired, we're going to try to have you arrested, we're going to have your YouTube channel taken down, because apparently words are just the worst now, and that is, I think, ridiculous and dangerous. Kids need to be tougher, and they need to understand not just, oh, Billy, they don't mean it, it's not important. No. Some people do mean the mean things that they say, but what matters is not what they think of you, it's what you think of yourself, and honestly, most people you shouldn't bother caring about what they say. Like, I literally do not. I do not waste time. There's a very small list of people whose opinions on me I care about, Like my parents, my friends, a few adults. The list is very small. If I'm walking through Walmart and some kid walks up and goes, "You're fat and ugly," I'm going to be like, "Oh, okay." And I'm going to go about my business. I don't know, I might be like, "Oh, you're rude." But I'm not going to go cry in a corner and demand that his Twitter account be blocked for harassment. It doesn't matter. He's irrelevant. He is absolutely irrelevant to me in my life, and I don't think I'm going to waste time feeling bad about it. And neither should you. So at the end of the day, the lesson is be true to yourself and don't care about what others say or think, because why should you? What bearing do they have on your life? What bearing on what you do in your life does this stranger or this person have? Maybe it's not even a stranger. Maybe it's a family member. Ask yourself this family member, do you care about what they have to say and why? Does what they say and what they think actually, does it have any sort of valid point? Because there's something to listening to criticism, right? But again, it has to be from a source you respect and you appreciate. If someone comes to my channel who I've never seen before and they're like, well, you're just an idiot, you don't know how to play games. Firstly, you're not wrong. I don't know how to play games, but I'm not an idiot. But I'm also not upset by your words, because you don't know me and I don't know you, and I don't particularly care about your criticism. But if someone, who I know, who has been on the channel for a long time, comes up and says, Reese, this video is bad for these reasons, I'd be like, okay, well, this is a person that I know. This is a person who's been with the channel for a while. This is a person whose opinions I think are actually valid, because they're not just some newbie flying in here trying to hurt my feelings. Because a lot of times when people say mean things, that is sort of their goal. Which I think that it's probably, if what someone has to say is in any way valid, that makes it more hurtful. Whereas if it's just some noob troll, it should be easier to ignore it. I don't know why people sort of aren't able to. Like, particularly if it's like very obviously a noob troll. But yeah, if it's someone whose name I recognize and whose opinion I appreciate. Like if someone like a Mayameka came. A Mayameka's been with the channel a while, or Duwardna, Lucky Lou. These are people whose names I see. Maybe not Duwardna. Duwardna is literally someone who's been with the channel a while, who would 100% just say nonsense to troll me. So, but if one of them came in and offered some criticism to something, I'd be far more receptive to it. And I certainly wouldn't respond with, oh my gosh, you're so mean, I can't believe you would dare have criticism. I think it also, depends on how the criticism is delivered. If you're going to deliver criticism to someone, you want to be constructive and, like, build them up, versus just being a rude, angry, bitter troll. And that does also have some sway in whether or not I'm going to listen to someone, is how they present their criticism. But then again, back to the main point here, if someone is just mean to you, oh well. It doesn't matter. It doesn't change my life any. If you're, like, rude to me, it doesn't in any way negatively impact me, right? I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to build this house. Are we going to put the power plant in its own sort of area? I think we are. So I think the power plant's going to be continuing along this road here, but it's going to be outside of the main fence of the city with the razor wire. Or at least that's what I'm feeling right now. I'll let you guys know if I change my mind. I'm done with this conversation. I've got nowhere. I've said everything that I could possibly say in the matter, and I've said it very poorly. If I could just reiterate this, let me summarize everything, okay? People in life are going to be mean to you. People are going to say things that are rude and are going to hurt your feelings. People are going to have opinions about you that you're not going to like, and you don't have to. Not everyone has to like you, and you don't really have the authority to force everyone to like you or the things that you say and do. And it doesn't matter. Those people, someone not liking you, someone not liking something you say or you do, in no way affects your life other than how you choose to allow it to affect your life. So don't. If you really, really like, I don't know, something garbage, like let's say Batman vs. Superman. Terrible film. But if you really like it and someone else comes along and says, this is a dumb, bad movie, I dislike it and you're dumb for liking it, does that actually negatively impact your life? Like, okay, them saying that, maybe it hurts your feelings. All right, feelings aren't... feelings literally are not real. There's something inside of you. They're just like chemical reactions in your brain. Someone saying that to you, does it drain your bank account? No, your bank account's fine. Does it cause your house to burn down when someone says that to you? If someone points out that Batman v Superman is terrible and you have poor taste for liking it, does that cause your house to burn down? Does it cause your car to catch fire? Does it cause your pet to die? Do you get cancer because someone said something mean to you? No. So what happens? Well, your feelings are hurt. Well, who controls your feelings? You do. So at the end of the day, just ask yourself if that person's opinion... No, there goes the timer. Ask yourself if that person's opinion matters. Ask yourself if you really care, and if you do, why? And if you don't, then don't. And I think that a lot of time, if you do come to the conclusion that you do care about someone's opinion, it's probably because you see some truth in it, and maybe they presented it poorly. But this got way too real. This whole thing. This was supposed to be a fun little, let's build a shop and go fly a kite, but then it got really strange. Occasionally, look, things happen in my life, or I talk to people, or I deal with situations, and then I'll sit down to record, and what I'll normally do is I'll sort of put that on the back burner of my mind, and I won't think about it during the recording. But the way that the Tekkit Legends series goes is because it is just a 25-minute stream of consciousness, everything is at the forefront of my mind, and there's, we talked about this in a previous episode, the filter that's supposed to be there that keeps things hush-hush, or keeps things sort of controlled. It controls what comes in and out of my mouth. It's not functioning. It's just not doing anything. So, naturally, I end up just saying whatever comes to mind, and because, these thoughts, these ideas, these conversations are at the forefront of my mind, that's what I sort of end up talking about, and that's what's happened here today, folks. That's what's happened here today, is stream of consciousness, thing I recently spoken about, and here we are. That's what's dominated the conversation. Unfortunately, just like in every previous episode this has happened, I've not really had anything profound to say. Like, I stand by everything I've said here today. It's just I don't feel like I've worded it all that well. I don't feel like I've got any particularly strong messages across. And look at that, though. We did finish that, so we got all that cleared out. The hut is now clear, and I think the remodel is done. It doesn't really blend in with the rest of the town, and in fact, it looks kind of terrible. Still, like, this should come down a level, shouldn't it? Real briefly, just quickly before we leave, can I get a stack of these? There we go. If I brought it down a level, and we brought it across here, how would that look? Shrek me! It knows what's going on. I'm sort of in a rush now, because we're at the end of the episode. That does look a little bit better. And then maybe I could add a window here or something? Maybe I shouldn't mess with it. Let's just do that along the other side, too. This side's just going to be flat, and then this side is going to be like this. Why? Why did that happen? I'm pretty sure I'm clicking on the right level. It's not like I'm misclicking here. Misclick Gaming? Isn't that a YouTube channel? I watched her react to The Legend of Zelda. Lots of fun. Okay. Cool. We're done for today. Thank you folks for watching. God bless you. I'm going to go take a nap. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!